Where is hope in my wilderness? Friends, today I invite you on a journey deep into the heart of your struggles, your wilderness, and the burning desire to find hope even when all seems lost. Right now, as you listen to these words, I ask you to take a deep breath and envision a horizon that stretches far beyond the confines of your present worries. Imagine for a moment that every hardship you face is not a dead end, but a winding path that eventually leads to a clearing where the warm light of hope awaits. This is not fantasy. This is your life transformed through courage, resilience, and relentless faith. Have you ever felt like you're wandering in a vast, desolate place, with no sign of your inner greatness or the purpose that calls you forward? I know this feeling too well. I remember a time when every step forward felt like wading through quicksand, when the dreams I cherished seemed to be lost in a storm of self-doubt and despair. But I learned something powerful, that within the wilderness of our lives, hope is always there, waiting to be reclaimed. It whispers to us softly at first, "You are stronger than you think. You are worth every effort. The desert is not the end, but the crucible where the rarest flowers bloom." Let me share a story with you. There was once a young woman who, despite being surrounded by the harsh winds of adversity, dared to believe in herself. Every time she stumbled, she would look up at the endless sky and say, "This is not my final chapter." With each tear and every setback, she gathered the fragments of her heart and forged them into a shield of determination. And eventually, she found herself at the peak of an unimaginable mountain, her eyes glistening with unshed tears of joy and gratitude, because she had discovered that hope is not something given, but something created within the depths of a resilient soul. I want you to grasp this truth. Hope in your wilderness is not something that magically appears from the ether. It is something you must cultivate. It is the deliberate, daily act of choosing to rise again, even when every muscle inside you screams for retreat. As the great philosopher Rumi said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." In every scar is embedded the power to transform that pain into the brilliant radiance of your true self. Pause for a moment. Look inside your heart and ask yourself, where is hope in my wilderness? Close your eyes now if you feel comfortable and picture your life not as a series of obstacles, but as a canvas painted with the wild, bold strokes of struggle and the gentle caresses of possibility. Let this reflection sink in, because within you lies the power to change the course of your journey. I invite you now to consider your own motivation, not just a fleeting desire, but the deep, unyielding fire that drives you toward that which you believe is worthwhile. Motivation is the spark that ignites the engine of self-realization. Think of it this way: the human spirit is like a mighty river. When you allow that motivation to surge forward, it carves out new canyons, reshaping the landscape of your life. And even if sometimes the river faces obstacles, a fallen tree, a jagged rock, it does not stop. It finds a way, persevering through and over the obstruction, forging ahead toward a vast ocean of potential. We live in a world where many of us find our worth measured by external validation, the shape of our bodies, the condition of our surroundings, the approval of those around us. But let me challenge you today. What happens if you shift the focus inward? On a scale from 1 to 10, ponder over how you view yourself. Are you nurturing your mind, your body, and your spirit like a tender garden? Or have you been neglecting the beautiful seed that is you, letting it wither in the desert of discouragement? Remember the wise words of George Burns, who said, "We cannot help getting older, but we don't have to get old." Your essence, your potential, remains ever youthful when you dedicate time to care for and refine your inner being. Now, I want you to think about your environment, your daily job, and the circumstances of your life. Is the space where you dwell truly reflective of the grandeur you can create? If you find yourself chained to a desk, moving through the motions without passion, then ask yourself, what is the gift I am offering to the world? Just as a forgotten flower wastes its sweetness in barren air, so too can a person's brilliance remain concealed if they do not allow themselves to thrive. Today, I challenge you to take a hard look at the settlements you've unconsciously made with life, the compromises that have dimmed your luminous potential, and resolve to reclaim the fullness of your dreams. I remember walking along a dusty trail, feeling the ache of disappointment as I looked at the barren landscape around me. It was then that I realized something fundamental. Our greatest battles are often fought not in the external world but within the chambers of our own minds. The voice inside, constantly critiquing, "You can't do it, you're not enough," can be more destructive than any external force. Yet just as night gives way to dawn, so too can we turn our internal dialogue around. Every negative thought is an opportunity to reinforce your inner strength with positive affirmation. Replace, "I'm just not cut out for this," with "Every step is a step toward greatness." Over time, you will find that by shifting the narrative within, the external world starts to harmonize with the empowered spirit within. Ladies and gentlemen, determination is the pulse that beats beneath the quiet surface of every challenge. As you listen, hear not only my words but also the beating of your own heart, which, if you dare to listen deeply, reveals an indomitable rhythm of resilience. Picture yourself standing on the edge of a great chasm where fear and excitement interlace. There, you take the bold step into the unknown, fueled by the certainty that your journey is not dictated by the shadows that now dance around you, but by the promise of the sun that is about to rise. This is your time, and your wilderness is the canvas upon which you will paint the masterpiece of your destiny. I stand before you today as someone who, too, has traveled the long, winding road of despair before discovering the transformative power of self-belief. There was a period in my life where every dream seemed out of reach, where I believed that happiness was reserved for others. I spent countless nights wrestling with doubts, asking myself if I would ever break free from the limitations imposed upon me by my own fears. But then, as if by divine intervention, I encountered the truth. Deep within each of us lies an oasis of strength waiting to be unleashed. And so, I vowed to pursue every shred of hope, to sculpt my soul from the rough stone of hardship until I revealed the polished gem of resilience within. Remember the ancient wisdom that tells us, the darkest hours produce the brightest stars. In the quiet and lonely midnight of despair, when it feels as though no beacon of light is near, know that this very darkness is preparing you for a dawn so brilliant that it will illuminate every corner of your being. It is in the struggle that the seeds of transformation are sown. And each time you rise despite the weight of the world on your shoulders, you animate these seeds, water them with your sweat and your tears, and watch as they burst forth into vibrant life. In these moments of introspection and vulnerability, I encourage you to embrace the rich tapestry of your emotions. Each feeling, be it despair, joy, anger, or hope, is but a brushstroke in the grand portrait of your life. When you welcome every emotion without judgment, you unlock the door to true self-mastery. And in that space, you begin to see that life, in all of its unpredictable chaos, is a precious, singular gift. It is your gift to the universe, an offering that is uniquely yours, brimming with infinite potential. I invite you now to reflect on a time when you felt truly alive, a moment when you were so immersed in joy or achievement that every fiber of your being vibrated with purpose. Perhaps it was the smile of a loved one, a hard-won victory over adversity, or the quiet triumph of a personal milestone. Hold that memory close, let it kindle the flame of possibility within you. And as you hold onto that spark, dare to dream bigger. Let that dream be a relentless pursuit, a vibrant vision that sees beyond today's limitations and into tomorrow's extraordinary promise. Listen to the wisdom of those who came before us. The ancient texts remind us, man is not made for defeat. Man can be destroyed but not defeated. These words are not simply a call to arms. They are a reminder that within each of us lies the strength of 1,000 warriors. When you feel the pull of doubt, remember that you are built of the same indomitable spirit that has carried civilizations through times of turmoil and triumph alike. Now, envision your inner life as a grand symphony. Every thought you nurture, every dream you dare to pursue, is a note that contributes to the harmonious melody of your existence. When the music seems discordant, when fear or regret have taken center stage, it is up to you to retune your instruments. Tell yourself, I am the composer of my destiny. I hold the pen that writes the story of my life. Stand tall in your authenticity, knowing that every beat of your heart echoes the promise that you are irreplaceable, extraordinary, and capable beyond measure. Let me share another personal experience, a turning point in my own life. Years ago, I faced a moment of crisis that left me feeling unmoored and adrift in a sea of uncertainty. I had lost my way in the maze of self-doubt and was drowning in the belief that I was unworthy of happiness. In that darkness, I stumbled upon a small, unassuming mirror. As I gazed into my own eyes, I felt a surge of recognition, a silent message from deep within. There is hope. There is power in you yet. In that moment, I resolved to mend the fractures of my spirit and rebuild my life one deliberate step at a time. That mirror, a simple object, became my ally, reflecting back not flaws but the limitless capacity for change and renewal. And so can you. I ask you now, dear listener, to interact with your own reflection, be it physical or metaphorical. Stand before the mirror or close your eyes and reaffirm these truths. I am capable. I am resilient. I am the master of my fate. Repeat these words until they resonate deep within your bones, until every part of you believes in the possibility of transformation. Let this exercise be the first brick in the foundation of your new life, a life where every challenge is met with unwavering determination, and every setback is but a stepping stone toward greatness. Consider, too, the power of writing down your dreams. There is a remarkable alchemy in the act of putting pen to paper. When you transfer your thoughts and aspirations into words, you are not only giving form to the invisible, but you are also engaging your subconscious in a dialogue that is as ancient as time. Write down your wildest dreams and the minutest daily goals. Let them serve as a map that guides you through the labyrinth of uncertainty. Read them each morning, each evening, and allow them to anchor you in the reality of your potential. For when you document your ambitions, you begin to see the threads that connect your present to your future, weaving a tapestry that is uniquely rich with the colors of perseverance and hope. There will be days when the wilderness feels overwhelming, when every element of nature seems to conspire against you, a relentless storm of obstacles and self-doubt. But remember, no matter how fierce the tempest, even the mightiest oak was once a fragile sapling, battered by winds yet determined to reach the sun. In every trial there is a lesson. In every heartache there is the seed of a new beginning. The journey towards self-mastery is not a straight line but a spiral, a constant return to yourself, each time a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more attuned to the beat of your own unique drum. The path ahead is not meant to be smooth. There will be fractures in the pavement of your progress, moments when setbacks seem insurmountable. But understand that it is in these honest, raw moments of struggle that you have the fullest opportunity to grow. Embrace these challenges, for they are the fire that refines your spirit and hammers out the dross, leaving behind only the pure, unyielding essence of your true potential. Do not be afraid to step into the arena of life, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Every battle you face is a testament to your courage, and every scar, whether visible or hidden, is a medal of honor in the war for your dreams. I know that sometimes the weight of the world can make you feel small and insignificant, but I'm here to tell you that even the tiniest candle can illuminate the darkest of nights. Every action you take, every act of kindness, every small victory over your inner demons builds a reservoir of strength that will sustain you on days when hope feels like a distant memory. Your inner light is not a candle that can be easily extinguished. It is a blazing fire that, once kindled, can warm even the coldest and most desolate landscapes of the soul. Imagine for a moment the power of a single drop in an ocean. No matter how insignificant it may seem, that drop carries within it the potential to create ripples, to influence the vastness around it. Similarly, your actions, no matter how small they may appear, are capable of creating waves of positive change. Each time you choose to rise above fear, each moment when you choose hope over despair, you contribute to a legacy that is far greater than you can imagine. You become a beacon for others, a living testament that even in the wilderness, hope can be found, nurtured, and multiplied. Sometimes we compartmentalize our lives into segments: work, family, personal aspirations. And in doing so, we lose sight of the grand, interconnected fabric of our existence. Today, I urge you to see the entirety of your life as a magnificent tapestry rich with experiences, lessons, and possibilities. No thread is insignificant. Your struggles, your triumphs, and your quiet moments of introspection are interwoven into the unique story that only you can tell. Celebrate every part of it. When you do, you unlock a deeper understanding that true strength lies not in the absence of pain, but in our relentless ability to overcome it. Now, let us turn our gaze to self-forgiveness, a key that unlocks the door to renewed hope. Many of us carry the heavy burden of past regrets and mistakes. We are haunted by the ghost of what might have been, imprisoned by the belief that we have failed. Beyond redemption. But hear these words: you are not your past, and every new day is an opportunity to rewrite your destiny with courage and compassion. Allow yourself to forgive not only others, but also the person staring back at you in the mirror. Embrace the person who is on a quest for growth, who understands that mistakes are simply stepping stones on the path to wisdom. Close your eyes once more and envision a time when you felt truly whole, a moment when your heart was light and your spirit unburdened by the weight of regret. Allow that memory to fill you with warmth. Understand that forgiveness is not a weakness but a deliberate choice, a choice to release the shackles of yesterday and step boldly into the promise of tomorrow. With every act of self-forgiveness, you reclaim your power, making room for hope to blossom once again in the fertile soil of a renewed soul. I want you to pause and consider this. What are the fears that hold you back? Think deeply. Is it the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or perhaps the fear of venturing into the unknown? Each fear is like a ghost that lurks in the shadows, waiting for you to grant it power over your decisions. But here's the truth: you are the master of your own fate. Every fear acknowledged and faced is a victory. Each one conquered is a step closer to the unwavering belief in your own abilities. Realize that you don't have to let fear dictate your future. Instead, let it serve as a guide, a reminder to dig deeper, to harness more of that inner strength that has always been waiting to be unleashed. Speak to that fear, tell it, "I see you, but you do not control me." I recall a time when I was paralyzed by fear, a situation where every possibility seemed to scream that I wasn't strong enough, that I had nothing to offer. But in that moment of vulnerability, I remembered a phrase that resonated deeply within me. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And so, I leaned into the challenge, letting each tremor of apprehension transform into a note of determination. By the end of that ordeal, I had not only overcome my fear, but also emerged with a clearer, more steadfast vision of who I was meant to be. I share this with you so that you may recognize that your current struggles are not the end of your story, but the very beginning of a formidable, inspiring journey towards self-realization. Every morning, when the sun peers over the horizon, it reminds us that every day is anew. Beginning, a clean slate on which you can write your story. This moment is yours. It is an invitation to take charge of your destiny and to sculpt your life with intention and passion. With each sunrise, renew your commitment to stepping into your power. Remind yourself that you are not merely surviving your wilderness but thriving within it. There is beauty in every struggle, and every challenge is an opportunity to reinforce that unassailable truth. You are a miracle worker, capable of transforming the seemingly impossible into the undeniable reality of your dreams. Now, I want to share with you a powerful exercise. Find a quiet corner where you can sit undisturbed. Take a piece of paper and a pen. Write down 3 things you are grateful for today. They could be as simple as the warmth of your favorite chair, the comforting presence of a friend, or the persistent beat of your own heart. As you write, allow yourself to feel each gratitude deeply. Let it flow through you like a gentle stream washing away the sediments of doubt. Then, next to your gratitude list, jot down one small goal for the day, a tiny act of courage you can take that will gently push your boundaries. It could be as simple as striking up a conversation with someone new, reading a page of an inspiring book, or taking a walk where you truly feel nature's embrace. When you engage in this exercise daily, you are planting seeds of hope that will one day blossom into a garden of fulfillment and joy. Now, let's talk about the dynamic shifts in life, those moments when we find ourselves teetering on the edge of breakthrough. Often, the narrative we tell ourselves is one of limitation and defeat, a script written in the quiet confines of our doubts. But you have the power to rewrite that script, to become the narrator of a story that is filled with triumph and grace. Embrace the art of talking to yourself with kindness. When a negative thought emerges, confront it with a steady voice that declares, "I choose growth, I choose hope, I choose to overcome." Over time, these reframed thoughts will forge a new internal dialogue, one that amplifies your inner strength and reinforces the resilient spirit that lies within. As the journey through your wilderness continues, you may encounter crossroads that demand a decision, a leap of faith, a trail less traveled. In these moments, recall the wisdom of the ancients and the whispered guidance of your own heart. Think of the time when a mentor once told you, "Don't be afraid to step into the unknown. It's where you'll discover the truest version of yourself." His words, echoing in the corridors of your memory, are a clarion call to embrace uncertainty as a friend rather than a foe. Each crossroad you face holds the potential to redefine your destiny, and every choice, no matter how small, is an opportunity to assert that you are not defined by your fears but by your courage. I want you to imagine, vividly, a future where you have transcended all the trials that have once seemed insurmountable. Picture yourself standing at the meeting point of all your aspirations, where each step, no matter how fraught with struggle, has led you closer to a version of yourself that is fearless, compassionate, and full of hope. See yourself surrounded by those you have inspired and uplifted, each life touched by the radiance that only a resilient spirit can provide. That is the mark of transformation. That is the tangible face of hope in the wilderness. Now, listen carefully as I share another truth. The world around you is a reflection of the world within you. Our external lives, our relationships, careers, and everyday circumstances are mirrors to the state of our inner being. If you find discord, unhappiness, or simply a sense of incompleteness in your external world, it is likely that there is a call for internal healing and realignment. Instead of resigning yourself to accept circumstances as fixed, begin by nurturing your inner garden. Tend to your thoughts, water your dreams, and let the light of self-love permeate every fiber of your being. With time, you will witness an eruption of positive energy, transforming your surroundings into an oasis of hope and possibility. It is crucial to remember that transformation is a process. It is not instantaneous, nor is it always linear. There will be days when progress feels like a slow trickle rather than a mighty river. But even in those moments, acknowledge every small victory. The extra minute you dedicated to self-improvement, the kind word you shared with a friend, the decision to move forward in spite of fear. Celebrate these tiny triumphs, for they are the building blocks of a lifetime of empowerment and resilience. Trust that each step, however incremental, is a thread woven into the dense tapestry of your longer journey toward greatness. I encourage you now to turn your struggles into a source of inspiration. Think about the hardships that have shaped you, the obstacles that once felt insurmountable, and reframe them as the catalysts that forged your character. Much like a sculptor chiseling away at a raw block of marble, every trial and every heartache is refining you into a work of art beyond compare. There is a profound beauty in the struggle, a beauty that reveals the hidden depths of your courage and the limitless reservoirs of your spirit. I know it is not easy to maintain faith during dark times, but I promise you this: if you persist, the wilderness of your life will eventually reveal a hidden oasis of hope and potential beyond your wildest dreams. Allow me to remind you, in the immortal words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Draw upon that inner wellspring of untapped strength and let it guide you when the path ahead seems murky and uncertain. I want you to engage now with a simple yet profound exercise. Take a moment, wherever you are sitting, and close your eyes gently. Picture yourself walking along a rugged path in a vast wilderness. Feel the underfoot crunch of dry leaves and the cool whisper of the wind telling secrets of resilience. In this imagined landscape, see the obstacles you have encountered as rocks and fallen branches. Now, with each step you take, visualize these impediments shrinking before your very eyes, transforming into stepping stones that elevate you higher toward a luminous horizon. Feel the hope surging through every limb, every pulse, and repeat in your mind, I rise, I overcome, I am unstoppable. Keep that image with you, as it is a powerful reminder that no matter how treacherous the journey, the destination is filled with promise. There are moments when the world seems to weigh heavily upon your shoulders, when the image of your future is obscured by the fog of uncertainty. It is during these times that you must become a student of life, continually learning and evolving. Read the words of the great thinkers and sages, absorb the lessons from history, and listen intently to the quiet wisdom of your own intuition. Each day is an opportunity, a chance to learn something new about yourself, about the nature of your struggles, and about the infinite capacity of your soul to transform pain into power. And so, I now call upon you to take action, not in some grand, sweeping gesture, but in the small, deliberate steps that accumulate over time into a journey of monumental growth. Write down your dreams and your goals. Hold them close as sacred promises to yourself. Challenge the negative thoughts that arise and replace them with affirmations of your strength and potential. Whether it is through writing, meditation, or honest conversations with yourself, commit every day to reinforcing the belief that you are capable of greatness. Let me share one last story with you, a story of a man who once found himself at the brink of surrender. Trapped in a situation that seemed hopeless and burdened by years of self-doubt, he decided one day to reject the voice of despair that had held him captive for so long. Instead, he embraced the challenge and began to reimagine his future. Despite the odds, he visualized success and took one brave step after another, until he eventually transformed his life into a legacy of inspiration and goodness. His transformation was not heralded by a dramatic miracle, but by the quiet, persistent work of self-belief and renewed hope. His story is a testament to the truth that, no matter how deep the wilderness, there is always a path to redemption and renewal if you have the courage to seek it. As we near the end of this journey together, I ask you to hold onto the core message that resonates through every word. You are the author of your own destiny. Your wilderness, with all its trials and tribulations, is not the end but the beginning, a fertile ground where new dreams can sprout and the seeds of resilience can bloom. Embrace your struggles as precious opportunities to reforge your identity, to transform every challenge into the raw material of the life you are capable of creating. Now is the time to step out of the shadows and into the light of possibility. Trust that every hardship you endure is forging you into a warrior of hope, a beacon that will inspire others even when your own darkness seems overwhelming. Know that the fire within you is an eternal flame, destined to illuminate even the wildest terrains of your existence. Let me leave you with a final call to action. Every moment is a choice. Choose to see your wilderness not as a prison, but as a realm of endless opportunities. Create a plan today, a deliberate roadmap for your personal evolution. Identify the areas in your life where you want to see change, however small, and set forth on a journey of healing, growth, and transformative discovery. Whether it is through guided meditation, journaling your thoughts, or simply taking a quiet walk in nature, claim your space in the world and own the right to flourish. I urge you to reach out to those around you, to share your story of struggle and hope. In case you ever feel that your burden is too heavy to carry alone, remember that each step you take is not only for your own liberation, but also for the collective upliftment of all those who have ever felt abandoned by hope. Organize small circles of support, become a mentor to someone who is lost in their own wilderness, and let your resilience become the catalyst for transformation in the lives of others. As you move forward, let the echoes of this message guide you. Recall the times when adversity tried to silence your inner voice, and then remember your triumphant declaration. I am more than my fears. I am more than my struggles. Embrace life with a relentless passion, and when despair whispers in your ear, say, I will prevail, because within me burns the eternal light of hope. Today, as you open your eyes after this reflection, let the determination to seek hope in your wilderness be your constant companion, a promise to never allow the darkness to define you, but rather to see it as the fertile ground from which the brightest dreams can emerge. Step into each day with the fearless conviction that your struggles are but the prelude to an epic narrative of triumph. Your wilderness is not barren. It is bursting with the potential for renewal and rebirth, a place where you can unearth the legacy of greatness that has always awaited you. Stand tall and let your inner light guide you as you traverse the rugged terrain of life. You are the miracle maker, the beacon of resilience, the artist painting your existence with strokes of hope and passion. Today, make the choice to rise above, to overcome, and to embrace the wild, untamed beauty of your personal wilderness. Let every heartbeat be a reminder that the strength you need is already within you, and every challenge is merely a chapter in the magnificent story that is your life. Friends, as you go forth, repeat these words and let them be the anthem of your journey. I choose hope. I choose strength. I choose to triumph over the wilderness of life, for I am destined to create a legacy that outshines the darkest night. Now, take a deep breath and feel the power surging through your veins. Each inhale fills you with renewed energy. Each exhale releases the weight of doubt and fear. This is not just a moment. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Challenges you face will become the stepping stones to your greatness, and every setback will serve to remind you that the purity of hope never fades. It only grows stronger in the face of adversity. I encourage you to circle back to these words whenever the road feels too long or the night too dark. Keep a journal, record your progress, and remind yourself often. You are on a journey of transformation, and every mountain you climb, even if the summit seems distant, is a victory over yesterday's despair. Let your life be a living testament to the power of perseverance, the beauty of struggle, and the undeniable presence of hope in even the wildest wilderness. As you navigate the path ahead, be open to the gentle guidance of your intuition and the lessons scattered along the way. Trust that every experience, every person you meet, is a fragment of the elaborate mosaic that is your destiny. There is a divine orchestration behind all things, urging you to continue, to persist, and to never lose sight of the wonder that resides within your heart. Embrace that mystery and let it propel you forward, step by step, day by day. Today, commit to rejecting the settlements you may have unconsciously made with your comfort zones. Compromises that have dulled your edge and muted your brightness. Instead, approach each day as if it were your most important masterpiece yet. Challenge yourself to step outside what is familiar and safe, to explore new ideas and fresh perspectives. Embrace the discomfort, for it is in that very discomfort that growth takes shape. Allow every stumble to fortify your resolve. Let every failure be a lesson that illuminates your progress toward the ultimate version of yourself. Now I ask you, what will you do today that your future self will thank you for? It might be reaching out to a friend in need, starting that project you've been delaying, or simply taking a moment to reflect on your dreams and desires. No act is too small if it is rooted in the belief that each step you take is a step away from the wilderness of despair, and a step toward the luminous promise of a better tomorrow. Visualize this. With each small, deliberate action, you are laying down a stone on the path to greatness, a path that winds through forests of uncertainty, over mountains of hardship, and into the brilliant sunlight of fulfillment. Reflect now on your inner dialogue. Notice how often your mind resorts to the narrative of inadequacy, the voice that claims I'm not enough. Challenge that voice with the resolute declaration, I am the architect of my destiny. I am capable, I am strong, and I am worthy of every dream I dare to chase. This inner revolution is not instantaneous, but it is powerful. With time, the negative self-talk will give way to a symphony of confident self-belief, a melody that resonates deeply within, forging a bridge between who you are and who you aspire to become. It's important to recognize that the process of transformation requires patience and self-compassion. There will be days when progress feels imperceptible, when the heavy weight of past failures seems to obscure the light of hope. On those days, be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge that growth is neither quick nor linear. Instead, honor every small victory, every incremental improvement, and remind yourself that every step, no matter how small, is monumental in the tapestry of your life. Remember the ancient proverb, "There is no enemy within. The enemy without can do us no harm." The only true battle is within your own heart and mind. By turning your focus inward, challenging the negative narratives, and fostering an intimate dialogue of self-love and resilience, you create an impenetrable fortress from which hope and strength can emerge triumphant. Believe in your ability to overcome, for each obstacle you face is an opportunity to refine your inner light. As you listen to these words, I encourage you to seize the moment. Write down your dreams, outline your goals, and in every act, no matter how small, choose to infuse your life with hope and purpose. Your journey is unique, and within it lies the promise of transformation. The wilderness you now traverse is not an isolated wasteland, but a fertile ground where the seeds of greatness are waiting to sprout. Each choice you make, every brave step forward, is proof that hope is not only alive, it is thriving within you. Now, envision your future self standing tall at the summit of your wild journey, a person forged through adversity, molded by unwavering determination, and illuminated by the radiant glow of hope. Picture the satisfaction and joy in that future, as you reflect on the struggles that once seemed insurmountable, and the victories that now define your legacy. Let that vision be your North Star, guiding you through every twist and turn, reminding you that every valley you traverse leads eventually to the peaks of achievement and fulfillment. I invite you to share this journey with others. Reach out to a friend, tell them your story, and encourage them to uncover the hope in their wilderness. In our collective resilience, we find strength. In your willingness to share your light, you illuminate the path for those who still wander in darkness. Each conversation, each act of kindness, each shared word becomes an integral part of a larger, interconnected tapestry of hope and human courage. Now, as we close this chapter of our dialogue, I want you to carry this message deep in your heart. No matter how vast and daunting the wilderness may seem, it is within that very expanse that hope is most potent. It is where the raw materials of your true self are refined into a masterpiece of perseverance, strength, and love. Trust that every hardship is temporary, that every setback is a setup for an even greater comeback. You are already the hero of your story, and every step you take is a testament to the limitless potential that lies within. So, rise up, dear friend, and answer the clarion call of your heart. Embrace the wild, unpredictable beauty of your journey and forge ahead with gentle determination and bold conviction. Let hope be your constant companion, a flame that burns fiercely through every darkness and guides you toward the unfolding horizon of infinite possibilities. In closing, I urge you, today, choose to see the wilderness not as a barren land of desolation, but as a sacred space where your spirit is refined, where every trial is an invitation to grow, and where every moment is a reminder of the infinite potential that lies within. Write down your goals, affirm your strengths, and step boldly into each new day with the resolute knowledge that you are capable of extraordinary things. You have what it takes to transform struggle into triumph, to turn obstacles into opportunities, and to create a life that is a radiant beacon of hope for yourself and for the world. Take one more deep breath. Let it remind you of the enduring capacity of your spirit. Feel the surge of courage and love, and as you exhale, release every ounce of doubt and fear. You are not defined by your wilderness. You are defined by the hope that you cultivate within it. Stand tall, be unyielding in your pursuit of greatness, and let your journey be testimony to the enduring, transformative power of the human spirit. Now, as you step forward into your day, carry with you these practical takeaways. Nurture your inner dialogue with positive affirmations. Write down your dreams and goals every day. Take small, deliberate steps forward even when the path is unclear. And above all, know that hope is never far away. It is a fire that lives within you, waiting to be lit with every act of courage. Remember, each step forward is a step toward the life that you are destined to lead. A life filled with passion, purpose, and the unshakable knowledge that you are more than the wilderness of your trials. Friends, be brave, be relentless, and let your heart be filled with the promise that no matter how rugged the road may be, hope resides in every corner of your wilderness. As you continue on your journey, may you find strength in adversity, joy in the pursuit of your dreams, and above all, the unwavering truth that you have the power to create a legacy that is as enduring as the stars in the night sky. Go forth now, with hope blazing in your soul, and let every step be a declaration. I am the master of my fate. I am the creator of my destiny. In my wilderness, I have found hope, and with that hope, I will light the way for others to follow. Thank you for joining me on this transformative journey. Now, it is your turn to step into your greatness, to transform your struggles into triumph, and to let hope shine brightly even in the darkest of nights. May your wilderness be forever a place of rebirth, renewal, and limitless possibility. Rise, shine, and let hope be the compass that guides you through every twist and turn of your magnificent journey.